Good evening.
Good evening to you, sir.
Welcome to another episode of Bourbon and Boarding Saturday night.
Boobs and Boarding.
Trade deadline edition.
Trade deadline. Madness.
Yes.
Chaos and madness. And we will talk about the winners and losers. And there are some winners.
Yeah.
I think. I was surprised at how cheap a lot of those trades were.
I think there was a lot of salary dumping going on.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get into that. There was a lot of salary dumping, but our favorite team, the Vegas Golden Knights, accumulated several millions of salary over the cap. I think they're up to like 110 million now.
Right.
Yeah, we're definitely going to talk about that. But yeah, it was funny because most stuff happened kind of really early on, you know.
Yeah, the Avs kind of kicked everything off on Wednesday. They jumped right into the pool.
They did, and I think they're the major winners. I mean, I think there's been a couple of other good things went on, and particularly Florida did pretty well. But
yeah,
I think the Avs are just, I mean, they've plugged every gap, maybe apart from the goaltending. I don't know.
Right, but in the past couple of weeks, Onanen has had 2 shutouts and 2 starts. So, yeah. Of course, they were both against the Blackhawks. So I would have liked to have seen them basically give Georgiev this whole week off, and have Onanen play against the Blackhawks, then the Red Wings, and then play this last game. Who was it that we just played last night? It was a bad game, so I tried to put it out of my mind.
Didn't you just win like 2-1 or something? I can't remember.
Yeah. I mean, it was just... Who did we play last night?
Yeah, I mean,
I should know this. Minnesota.
Oh, yeah, the Wild. That's why we don't... Yeah. The team we shall not speak of.
Right. Hey, Smokey.
Smokey.
I'm betting Smokey's playing some Helldivers while watching or listening.
Helldivers, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Indeed. Well, welcome, Smokey. Give him hell. Absolutely. That's the Avs. I'm very impressed, I have to say. Very impressed. And I guess Tarasenko going to the Panthers, though.
Yeah.
He's just, I mean, he lit it up today, so that's been a good one for them. So your prediction the other day, I think, of Avs versus Panthers Stanley Cup final. That was your prediction, I think.
Well, that was my, once again, at the beginning of the season prediction. But the one I had said on the tweet yesterday when your Muslim uncle was asking us our thoughts, I actually think it may be the Rangers that are best positioned to come out of the East at the moment.
Yeah, well, they're not looking bad, I have to say. They're getting the goaltending as well, which helps. But, I mean, the Panthers still looking pretty good. Tarasenko, 3 points today, so they've won 7 of 8. So they may have something to say about that.
Right.
I think both of those are looking more likely it's going to be one of them rather than perhaps, say, the Bruins or the Leafs. But, hey.
Well,
they'll be too busy killing each other.
Yeah, I mean, probably Florida, Carolina, New York are the ones that I would say are strongest. I know people are saying that Boston got better, but like I was saying on Twitter, Boston was a better team last year, and people were saying that they were going to win, and they went out in the first round.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they will this year, but they were a better team last year.
They've underperformed significantly in the last few weeks. Maybe it's the goaltending, possibly. Yeah. I mean, Ullmark's been terrible.
And Ullmark almost got traded.
That close, yeah.
Last second deal trying to go through.
It put a rocket up his arse today, of course, because they got a 5-1 win with him in goal.
Yeah.
So, but that's the first win he's had in a while, like weeks, I think.
Yeah, major slump for him.
Bad. If you're playing a 1A, 1B, that's a pretty bad setup for you.
Yeah.
Okay, win, lose, win, lose, win. But
one goalie's doing his job, the other's not participating.
Yeah, so he was certainly better today, which is good because he is one of my goalies in both my leagues.
Yeah.
Anywho, so what are you drinking tonight, sir? Let's talk about the booze.
I think I'm gonna have a pour of Weller's Special Reserve because Father came into town, so he brought up some of the stuff that he can find down in Texas that I can't find. So
nice. The Peter Weller Reserve.
Good stuff.
Very good.
What are you having?
I'm trying to finish this bottle of Buffalo Trace.
Oh yeah. So
I can move on to another one.
I got an interesting bottle of Buffalo Trace that he brought up as well. It's It's the rare 1 liter bottle, not a 175 and not a 750.
It's somewhere in between.
The 1 liter.
Wow.
Nope, those aren't on screen. So it's just slightly bigger than the 750 and
it's interesting.
Just kind of an odd size.
Why would they make that? Is that like for an export market or something?
I don't know. I mean, I know that Weller does the same thing. They do a 175, a 1 liter, and a 750. But kind of weird. Just had never seen a 1 liter of the Buffalo Trace, so we grabbed it just for the heck of it to have the full collection of sizes of bottles.
Cool. Well, cheers to you, sir.
Cheers. And cheers to Smokey.
Cheers,
and
Smokey.
Anybody else out there in the chat right now?
It's quiet out there tonight so far. I'm sure a few people will drift in as we go.
That or they're worried about the time change tonight and getting ahead of it.
Well, there is that. Yeah. You know, I wish they'd stop fucking with that and just leave it alone. I hate it.
Yeah, just after tonight, put it, lock it in. Be done with it.
It serves no purpose, and it really screws me up for days.
Yeah.
And I don't work anymore, so it's like the people at work just.
Well, it'll help. It'll help that you don't have to work. You can just kind of sleep what you want a little bit. So.
Well, I do anyway. It means I can have my afternoon nap a little earlier by the clock.
Right.
I think, or is it later? I don't
Later.
know. Later.
We lose an hour.
I'll just have it anyway.
Springing forward.
I just think it's hey, we can control time.
Yeah.
No, you can't. So, hi, Mike DiCarlo.
What's up, Mike?
Is here. Lizard King 89, cheers to you, mate. And Southern Belle. We have to get you on here, Belle. Come on. I hope you're feeling better, though. I mean, are you home again? I hope you're home. Anyway,
we've been getting updates. She's doing a bit better.
Yeah, good. So good to see you guys. Just a quick check. There's been a lot of games today.
Yeah.
And a lot of games still going. One in particular I'm interested in. But the Canucks are scalping the Jets 4-0. Which I think on balance is probably the result we want.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I would rather the non-divisional team be the one that runs away if anybody's going to.
Yeah, and I think any blow to the prestige of the Jets is good, so let's hope the Canucks pile on a few more.
Well, and the Avs only have one game left with the Jets, and I think Dallas only has 1 game left with the Jets.
Right, well, that's okay, because we own the Jets.
You do. We haven't.
You. Well, I don't know. I mean, they didn't do anything trade-wise, I don't think.
No.
That I can recall.
Them and I think Vancouver also just kind of stayed pat. They didn't do much. There were a few teams that just did nothing.
Nothing. So it's weird because, I mean, yeah, I guess the Jets have not got much to do it with. That's the thing. They're not exactly laden with riches, shall we say? So
No, they don't. Not real superstar filled team. It's more like scoring by committee.
yeah. So Stars didn't do much either. I was actually a tad disappointed because yes, we traded for Chris Tanev, which we did need. We
Mm-hmm.
really, really needed another defender, another quality defender, and we just watched them all going everywhere else.
Yeah.
And then Jim Neal made his traditional speech of "I like where we're at, and we're upgrading from within." By calling up Stankoven. Well, he should have been up at the start of the year, so that's irrelevant. But
Yeah, he's been a beast for you
oh
guys.
god, 5 goals and 8 points in 7 games, which isn't bad. In fact,
well, anytime you watch in Dallas right now, all you hear is his name over and over and over.
he's just so tricky.
He's everywhere.
He's tricky and he's everywhere, but he also is not. Even though he's little, he's not pushed around easily. He can get in and win the puck. He's quite robust.
Yeah.
So the fear with the little guy is that he's just going to get the shit knocked out of him. So far, none of that has happened.
Like Bedard.
Like Bedard, we have a little bit of that, yes. So on Tuesday night against the Sharks, and it is the Sharks, so glad to hear you're doing better, Bill. Him and Wyatt Johnston just ran the show.
Yeah.
Both had multi-goal games. Johnston had a hat trick. Stankoven had 2 goals. They had 9 points between them. And as according to this, the last pair of NHL teammates 21 or younger to do that in a game was Wayne Gretzky and Yari Curry on December 19th, 1981. So that's pretty good company to be in.
Yeah.
Yes, it was the Sharks.
Yeah.
But having said that, the other fascinating stat about those, we had a double header against the Sharks, home and away. We got 4 points out of those games, but not one time in over 120 minutes of hockey did we have the lead.
Weird.
We won both games in overtime after being behind in them. Both
Comebacks.
games.
Yeah.
The last one, it was 6-3 and about 8 minutes left in the third, and we went on to win it in overtime, 7-6. So we didn't exactly cover ourselves with glory, but I'm not sure there's been a head-to-head stat like that for a long time. Never having a lead, but get 4 points.
Right. The only lead you had was when the game ended.
And it was the ones that counted. But yeah, those guys are lighting it up, Johnston and Stankoven, so good for them. But at the same time, we have a couple of boat anchors in defence in Hakanpää and Suter. And what's funny is that De Boer keeps pairing them together. And it's like, these guys can barely walk, never mind skate. So you got guys going around them like this.
Yeah.
Don't ask them to skate back and get anything. It's just ridiculous.
Why would a defenseman need to be able to skate?
Why? That's right. Why would, when you're up against, super lightning fast forwards like McKinnon and go, yeah, you don't need to be able to skate.
Yeah. I'd be fine with you guys matching them up against McKinnon every time.
It's terrible. I mean, I'm not saying Nils Lundqvist, who's the other choice that over Hakanpää, is any good either, but at least he's young and can skate.
Yeah.
He might not be the best defensively, but he can skate and at least do that. But hey, so we were hoping for something else there, but we didn't get it. Doesn't mean they didn't try, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Knights are currently 2-1 up against the Wings. They were 2-0 up. The Wings have pulled one back. And the Stars are losing 1-0 at the end of the first to the Kings. I would say, other than that, we've actually been the better team.
Other than the goal?
Other than the goal, which is really early. It was like nobody was awake yet.
Yeah.
But, they're not playing bad. They've got it on over there. We'll see. It is the back-to-back on a last night of a 3-game road trip. Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough.
It's right. And it's a good team. The Kings are good defensively as well. So we'll see. Sabres beat the Oilers, though.
Yes.
Albeit in a shootout, but it was good.
In a weird fashion. Did you hear anything about that game?
Didn't know.
So, they get to overtime, right? There is a goal in overtime with about 2 seconds left on the clock. Both teams clear out, go down the hallway. I mean, it ended up being double zeros, but he shot it with like 2 seconds. They called it a good goal. Yeah. Both teams clear off the ice. Everything's done, right? No. Toronto institutes the challenge for offsides.
Toronto instituted it.
Yes, because in overtime, all replays are called by, the head office.
Okay.
You can't. I mean, I think you can challenge, but Toronto's in charge of anything that they want to look at. They automatic
review. Yeah.
Right. So, turns out no goal. Both teams have to come back onto the ice.
Which is awkward for the guys that have already got the cigarettes lit.
Right.
The whiskey open.
So they come back out for a shootout. I mean, and then the Sabres end up winning the shootout. So the Oilers got beat twice today.
That's right. Well played. That's another stat that's probably not been done for a long time.
Yeah.
That'll be a future quiz. Which team got beaten twice?
Twice in the span of about 10 minutes.
Yeah, good one. I didn't know that. No, I missed that.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. There were a whole bunch of memes of the Oilers trying to, it was an episode of King of the Hill, and they had the Oilers trying to climb out of this hole in the backyard, and Hank just kind of pushes on their forehead, and they go flopping right back into the hole.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. So, just looking at the other results, Canes 4, Devils 2.
No surprise.
Yeah, Preds 2-1 over the Blue Jackets. That was a pretty tight one. It's a shame. I think I might have a clip from that game, actually. Probably got it written down here.
Yeah, of course. Of course, my goalie wasn't going for the Predators.
Of course not. Bruins 5, Penguins 1. So the Bruins finally managed to get going, especially against a hapless Penguins. See, Crosby's still there, though. Didn't move.
He's got to be pissed.
Yeah. Did not move.
They get rid of the only other talent on the team at the last second. Apparently, they didn't talk to him because whenever he's been asked by media about it, he's like, well, go talk to the guys in the head office because I don't know what's going on. I mean, it sounds like they're entering a full, rework it from the ground up.
Yep.
But I don't think Crosby was really up for that.
Nope.
He's at the point in his career where he either has to decide whether he is going to retire a Penguin, a lifelong Penguin, or if he's going to do something to chase some wins, because I don't think he wants to go through another, reorg. So
I thought they might have made a show of trading him there and get something for him. But
I really thought we were going to make a play for him when we were clearing out cap space left and right.
So, who did you guys end up? Let's have a look who you ended up getting.
Yeah, we got we got a handful of players, but from the Sabre, let's see. So we got rid of Byram, and we got rid of Johansson, which was, thank goodness somebody was dumb enough to take Johansson off of our hands, because he's been horrible.
Didn't he immediately get waived?
He is now down in the minors.
Yeah.
With a $4 million salary. Nice. And that's only half of his salary, because Nashville's still paying him the other half, I believe, for another year.
That's shocking, isn't it?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's been so much happening, I can't even keep up with the names that we got. But we got, what's his name? Sean Walker. We got...
Well, that was a good pickup from the Flyers, yeah, absolutely.
We got Middlestat, who plugs in that 2C position. So Walker, the way it kind of went down, we got rid of Johansson, got a defenseman, which then freed us up to get rid of Byram in a 1-to-1 trade for Middlestat.
And he was probably the only decent thing you gave up.
Yeah, and Byram's great. He won the cup with us as a very young guy. He's a good player, good guy in the room, it sounds like. But he has had, it's been a down season for him. And he's had major concussion injuries over his very short career. So he is a risk. And yeah, we were able to get rid of him while also replacing him with somebody who is probably about equal in talent. And then getting Middlestat, who we desperately needed a 2C.
Well, you got your 2C. You ended up getting Duhaime as well.
Yeah, and Duhaime is just going to be there for the playoffs, I think, just to be the guy that beats the crap out of everybody.
Yeah, I think you guys did really, really well, which made me, I don't know if jealous is the word. I'm a little discombobulated because I expected us to do something else. And then so you guys get piece after piece after piece, It's like, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, the weird thing was, all of our major stuff happened on Wednesday. Yeah. It felt like the trade deadline for the Avs was Wednesday. We made some more moves on Thursday, and I think one move on Friday, which was just dumping Ben Meyer off to somebody for replacing one of the picks that we had traded.
I think he went to Anaheim, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
For like a 5th-round pick, something like that.
Because he played against us last night, I think.
Really? And, he was supposed to be pretty good, just never kind of materialized.
Yeah.
And, we haven't even called him up, even though we've needed him over the past few weeks, because if he had played in one more game, then then you've got to put him on waivers. You can't send him back down without, putting him on whatever kind of contract the NHL does. They've got a certain number of games before they, are stuck with a big team.
Sure.
So,
yeah, so you guys did great, but we cannot avoid talking about the Vegas Golden Knights. In fact,
I think we all agree had the best trade deadline, but mostly because they had the most money to mess around with.
The best trade deadline in history, I think. As I say, they're now compliant with the cap for 2034.
Yeah, once it goes up to that. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's look at some reactions to that, which are quite funny. Here's Ryan Whitney of, I think it's Spit and Chicklets.
Yeah.
This Golden Knights. These sick pricks have about $140 million roster.
Let me start again. So he may be exaggerating for effect, but this is quite funny.
Yeah.
I hate the Vegas Golden Knights. These sick pricks have about $140 million roster when everyone's healthy. If Mark Stone comes back for game 1 of the playoffs, if they even get in, second wild card right now, there should be a full-blown mutiny around the NHL. It's ridiculous. It's disgusting. Am I a little jealous? Yeah, I guess so. But what the hell is going on? This team is infuriating. How do they we can't keep letting them get away with this. Yoshi, you know what I'm saying? It's a joke. So I'll tell you right now, I love the Oilers. Best team in the NHL the last 3 months. But this Vegas Golden Knights team is a real problem. The NHL better do something about it. If Mark Stone's playing game 1, we might have to go to the league offices. This is disgusting. Thomas Hurdle. You know what? Marchessault, is he now gone? Where's the chemistry in that? How's he feeling right now?
Marchessault scored tonight to put them ahead.
He scored tonight. That's right. Because he's on one of my fantasy teams. So he might be on both of them. But yeah, that I have to say I have some sympathy with that. But
if it was your team doing it, you'd probably also be fine with it.
Yeah, but I love all the Mark Stone coming off LTIR memes. It's like players bouncing up the.
Oh, my favorite is the one with the Undertaker, where game 1 of the playoffs and the Undertaker just does the full, sits back up from laying down dead.
It's hilarious. But yeah, so let's look at that though, because it's not like he's never done it before.
And we should report, the current report is that he has a ruptured spleen.
Well, yeah, but Has anyone taken his spleen out and had a look at it on camera? We need to.
They may need
that.
to at this point.
So I like this tweet. It's probably a little hard to see, but from somebody called Mike Fail. Mike Fail. Expecting Vegas put the following players on LTIR today ahead of trade deadline: Jack Eichel, tuberculosis.
Right.
Ivan Barbashev, penis exploded. William Carlson gets an eye twitch while shitting.
All are expected to return in game one.
Round one. It's just, I mean, there's no.
It's the worst kept secret in sports.
That's right. There's no hiding it. They are literally up to 110 million now in the Caps. What, 92?
93, I think.
93. I thought I had the graphic for
Stone's injuries over the last years.
Stone's injuries, and I don't know where I put it, but anyway, it's like February
14th, February 22nd, February 23rd.
Yeah, and then April 18th reactivated. It's
every
just
year,
like clockwork.
Yep.
And they got they didn't even trade for a guy that's on IR. I mean, that's creative accounting.
Well, let's see. Is he going to be on IR until the playoffs, you think? Because that would give us more to work with at the moment.
Yeah, and people are trying to say, oh, every other team's doing it or they want to do it. No, they're not.
No, we're doing it and it's legitimate. Our captain has been out for 2 years. Right. not the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season.
But they got like Hannafin, who I'd love to have got.
Yeah.
So they got Hannafin, they got Mantha, Hurtle. Hurtle's another one I would like to have seen. Just crazy, you know?
Yeah, Sharks fans got to kind of feel like crap about every one of their players kind of leaving.
They did beat Ottawa tonight, though, so that's something.
Yeah.
So anyway, trades were good. Some other teams made some good individual trades. I think the Avs came out and talked for me as a complete package. Maybe just the goaltending, but that's it.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, we saw a few big names moving. Really, I think last year we saw the East drastically go into a bidding war and improvement at the trade deadline. This year, I think it was the West did the same thing. The East, they had some trades, but nothing like what the Western Conference was doing. So, I mean, it turned into an arms race real quick on Wednesday.
It did, yeah. And some teams like surrendered immediately. But
yeah.
So, the Winnipeg Jets were the France of the war, and the Stars were the Italy of the war.
Yeah. Actually, Winnipeg may have just been Switzerland. They just stayed neutral the whole time. They were like, nope, not getting involved in any of this. We're not surrendering. We're just not getting involved at all.
That's right, yeah. I should play. There's something I meant that Release the McCracken sent us last week, and I missed it.
Yo, you better give me that money.
This is. I don't know if that's meant to be me, but
I don't know. It didn't transition for me, but it was very loud in the background.
I'll turn the volume off. But this is Release McCracken tweeted this to us last week to celebrate Bourbon and Boarding, and it's thought I'd never make it to the weekend.
That is your face refaced on it.
It is, but it can't be me because A, he can dance, and B, he's got hair. Thank you, Release the McCracken.
Since your surgery, you can at least move.
I'm pretty mobile now, yeah.
Yeah.
and now I've had the pain-killing stuff in the arm. I know I'm still tearing shit, but I can't feel it as much. I know it's still not great, but I don't know, it'll be all right. As I can lift a glass.
That's always a good thing.
And for anything else I need to get up, I can use my imagination. So, but thank you, Release from the McCracken, for that. It's awfully good of you. So, what do we want to talk about, my friend?
Well, mean, the trade deadline was the big thing. We talked about the Avs a little bit on the trade deadline. They did play last night with all the new players. It was a little bit ugly. It was a 3-2 win with the Wild.
We got to get them integrated.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest issue. Was they just Nichushkin came back, and although he looked real shaky, he closed it out in overtime for us.
They scored the winner in overtime. They went off for a huge line of autograph signing.
Yes, now just autographs.
This is the graphic. Sorry, I found it.
Oh, okay.
February 14th, 2022, LTIR. April 12th, activated. February 11th, IR. February 20th, LTIR. April 18th, activated. Yeah, it's the same shit.
Yeah, it's right at the end of February every year. Yeah. Hey, do you need a month off?
Yeah, the same guy.
Figure out something that happened to you.
Yeah, same guy. But anyway.
And yet he's never really injured during the rest of the season, any season.
And he's tough as nails normally. Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Strange, very strange. But NHL isn't going to investigate shit because they love Vegas and they love all that sweet Vegas gambling money. So.
Yep.
So we have a lot of clips though. We do have
quite a few clips.
Let's have an advertising break first.
Okay. I'll get a clip ready while you do an ad.
Let's do an ad.
Here's Gordie Howe for Amway of Canada.
I'm one of 500,000 Amway distributors worldwide. I'm meeting men and women from all walks of life who've also started their own part-time Amway businesses. With Amway, they meet new people and earn extra income. Come join our world. With Amway, you can do it too.
Contact an Amway distributor near you.
Get the whole story.
So that's a weird one because imagine you're sitting in your house in the 90s or 80s or whatever, and the doorbell rings and it's Gordie Howe trying to sell you some soap powder.
Right. Help me to earn my pink Cadillac.
That's right. And
doing Mary Kay.
And forgive me for being cynical, but I don't think he sounded 100% sincere there.
I'm not sure he knew what he was even selling.
There's a card over there I'm reading off. Yeah. Can you give me my $500? $10 is $10. Yeah, anyway, that was funny. It's the only new advert I think I've got. We've got some we haven't played before, but that's the newest.
Yeah, we've got a pile of them in the back.
Yeah.
Well, we mentioned the Avs did play the Red Wings. It almost looked a little bit like the Red Wings and Avalanche of old. So we'll take a look at what happened in that game.
Snippy.
Just a little bit.
Ooh, chippy. That's what we want. We like that.
Yeah. And there's the rest of the line.
That's right. And now it's just an orgy.
Now you just got to see Patrick Waugh go flying across the screen, tackling somebody.
Yeah. He got some cute points for throwing a game puck over the fence over the glass to a fan that has a T-shirt of his on.
Yeah.
He got some cute points for that this week. Well, that was nice. Yeah, that's what we want.
Yeah, nice big scrum. And then we went on to crush them.
Of course you did.
Yep. Which I was fine with. But yeah, it was nice to see. And it's definitely not going to renew a rivalry. I mean, they've won one game against us in 10 years, but it was nice to see the scrum between the old two big teams going.
I mean, I could see them getting back to being reasonably competitive, but they're still miles behind. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're in a playoff spot right now, I believe.
And good luck to them. I've got a soft spot for them. You might not like that, but
yes, I know you like them.
I've been to a lot of games and had a lot of fun in those games.
Wow, I'm already getting a warning.
Oh yeah, shit, me too. Yeah.
One video in.
I've not. I challenged these for fun for our show 2 weeks ago. They've still never either dismissed or accepted my challenges. They're still sitting in dispute status.
Yeah.
So
Bill says she still has some of that soap.
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah, I had friends that sold it. But, I hope they don't challenge the dispute and it expires and I get to win.
Right.
Yeah, and then I'll just challenge all the stuff that they do on these now. So, some hot action from tonight. Our good friend Torts ejected from the game for objective. His team were 4-0 down in the first period, and he just got. It's the ref's fault.
Misconduct there by John Tortorella.
Let's turn that down a bit.
Lost his cool a little bit there after all the penalties, and Flyers are going to be shorthanded here again against a good power play.
So Farabee will serve the minor. John Tortorella is making his way. You called it, Scott.
He's out of there.
John Tortorella has been tossed. Not too often you see that.
I've got a different version.
All right, lucky him. He's been tossed, but is that why he's got? Is that why his wrist is all strapped up?
Right.
Or is that just from the pointing? He's strained his wrist from pointing. But anyway, have you got a different clip?
I think it's different announcers because I think they were saying some different stuff. Let's see.
Motion to Tortorella. Hey, you go.
He refused to leave after being tossed.
Well,
Well,
you're not going to win that
it's
one.
interesting. What would they do if he actually did refuse and never left? What would they do?
I'm not.
Fine him.
Yeah, but they're not going to call
Actually,
security.
the refs would probably walk off and refuse to complete the game.
Okay.
700 wins, and he says, you're going to have to carry me off.
Yeah, so
Now, I believe
just
it
slightly different announcers
was-
going
it was
over
Wi-
the same thing.
I think it was Wes Macaulay as well.
Yeah, it was Macaulay, our favorite of the referees by far.
Absolutely. So that was fun. I love Torts. I love him. Not because of anything to do with hockey. I just love this stuff.
He's just a crazy.
Good for him. He's a good lad. I guess the refs, all they could do is walk off. It's not like they can call the police on them or something or get security to take him away.
No, we've seen refs refuse to complete the game other times in situations like that where they felt like they were being abused and they just said, nope, no. Game, we're done with it.
We're done. That's right. Yeah, you guys can sort it out yourselves. So this is, I'm just going to set something up here for us. This is also about the Flyers, of course, but this was a penalty. A penalty shot was called here. So let's see if we can see if there is this really even a penalty. Never mind a penalty shot.
But Forster had a
penalty shot has been awarded to Philadelphia.
Forster cuts in on his back.
But Forster had a
penalty shot has been awarded to Philadelphia.
Forster.
I never even saw the stick get on him or anything.
No. So let's look at it.
It looked like it may have been a hook, but then I didn't see where he actually made any contact there.
So there's the contact, and he's not hit. Well, does he hit the hands after? I don't know, but it seemed to me like the mildest of mild.
But they're automatically going to be staring at it when it's a breakaway.
And of course, Forrester, my hand, you know.
Yeah.
So they fell for it. I, in that case, do not think that's a penalty shot, or even a penalty, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know what anybody out there thinks, but
I mean, if you're going to call the penalty, it has to be a penalty shot because he obviously has the lead on him.
Yeah, I just don't think that's anything. It's nothing. Oh, Stars have just scored.
A minor slash.
Stars have scored, and my God, it facts it. Like, okay, the apocalypse is here. Radek Faxa has scored twice in 2 games. Okay, that's Look outside. Is the sun expanding and boiling coming towards us?
We've had the same situation here where suddenly Jack Johnson, 38-year-old or whatever he is, Jack Johnson is putting up some points, and it's like, who the hell is this guy?
What injections have they been giving him?
I think he's been in the league as long as I've been alive.
That's right. Yeah. It's right. In fact, the only reason he's still playing is he's so old people forgot he was in the league. And he just keeps turning up. Who is that guy? Oh, he must have a contract.
So, since we're looking at controversial calls, let's have a look at this one. This was called a goal on the ice. Actually, let's start it over. Called a goal on the ice.
He's already standing there, right? It's not at the same time. Dawes is already there, so I think he established himself, and they're challenging it. So
Taken back for goalie interference. A, the goalie's not in the crease. B, he skates on the goalie coming out of the crease and then getting touched slightly.
Yeah, it's fair game out of the crease. Yeah.
Yeah, should be. So, yeah, that was a bit on the controversial side this week.
Yeah, see, I don't agree with that one at all. That's another bad one. Yeah, and it's not like they couldn't review it. And
they did review it
to
because it was a goal on the ice. Yeah,
I mean, you could look at that. Who looks at that and goes, "Oh yeah, he was interfered with"?
Toronto.
Yeah. Okay, so here is. Oh, okay. This we were talking about this earlier. Let me again set this up. This is. This was a Nashville game the other night. Shit, who were they playing?
We'll probably know from who's in the shot.
But it was Nashville that the goal was scored against Nashville. Let me just. This is the freakiest of freaky goals, and you got
the crazy bounce.
Yeah, the crazy bounce. So Saros goes out behind the net to get the expected bounce.
Which it's the puck going around the glass like every dump in.
Bang, and it hits they think it hits the camera hole, and it goes right into the net.
Goes straight to the net.
Oh my God. And you're like, what the hell? Is it the Blue Jackets?
It looks like it could be.
Yeah, David Savard. Yeah, Savard.
Okay.
Scored it, yeah. And hit the camera hole.
That's about as unlucky as you can be as a goalie.
Yeah, there's another view of it. So let's watch that again. It's the Rangers, sorry, not the... Is it the Rangers?
It's the Canadians.
Oh, it's the Habs, of course it is. Sorry, shit.
Yeah.
So many trades. I couldn't remember if Savard was still there or not. Yeah, I mean, you got a feel for the goalie.
You got a feel for my fantasy team. That cost me a win and another goal against.
Sucker, yeah. But this is funny because this is just a picture of him standing behind.
Like.
So you know what I heard in my head when I saw this? Eric Carmen singing "All by Myself." All by myself.
And look where the puck is. They even captured it with the puck just sitting in the back.
It's right there. Poor, if you happen to your team, you'd be like, "What the fuck?" But
yeah.
Stars are 2-1 up now, by the way.
But it was also at home, so I mean, it's their boards that did it to them.
Oh God, that's so funny.
It's not even like it was something where you could say, "Well, there's always some weird bounces in Montreal."
That's right.
And they're just not used to the way the puck sometimes plays off of these.
What you didn't know was that the cameraman that was in that camera hole just pushed his camera out at the right time. It's such a freak.
Well,
I mean, you don't see that often, but when it happens, oh my God.
Here's another interesting thing. This is from a while ago, but since we had the trade deadline, These two guys are now teammates.
Oh, is it? I saw this. This is good.
Pat Maroon and Brad Marchand are now teammates.
Yeah, the atmosphere in that changing room must be nice.
Yeah. That's going to make them even more a team you love to hate.
That's right. It almost actually makes me like Brad Marchand more because I hate Pat Maroon so much.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pick who you hate more there. But
yeah. However, mentioning the Bruins Leafs game was a glorious thing the other day, and we want more of that. It's like the Red Wings Avs thing. It's just chaos. I got a clip of some fighting from that, but also Brad Marchand
pointing at the bench.
Yeah.
2 separate penalties.
Oh, hang on. Sorry. I need to transition. I need to enter my transition. So here's Marchand getting a little bit chippy.
2 separate penalties on McCabe. It would be a 5-on-3. Yes. 2 separate penalties.
There he is.
McCabe. It would be a 5-on-3. Yes.
The Marchand we know and love.
They called 2 penalties on one guy at the same time.
At the same time, yeah. But they did have the what we call in Scotland a stramash, which is like a general free-for-all.
Yeah.
Like a fight, a melee.
A scrum.
A scrum, a melee, a stramash. So we had a lot of great, and I just love this shit. We need more of this, like the Avs Red Wings.
Francis Sharon's going to let these two go if they want.
If they want.
I think they're I think they don't want to go, but they've decided they're embarrassed into doing it now.
Now, weren't they teammates in Boston at the end of last season? Wasn't Bertuzzi there at the trade deadline last year?
Right, yeah. So do you know what's happening here? They're talking about going out for a beer afterwards, but they're covering it up with a fight.
Where are you guys going? Because I'm going to sneak away from my team to go hang out with you.
That's right, yeah. Well, you're going to that Indian place. I love that place. But yeah, there was a lot of this going on. A lot of this shit. This is just a little clip of it.
We're getting closer to playoff hockey.
Yeah, and I love it.
Sharon's going to let these two go if they want. Bertuzzi's got his gloves off with Wotherspoon.
Yeah, so good stuff. That was a good game, actually. I watched some highlights of that. Excellent game. So
yeah. How about some amazing puck handling?
Amazeballs. Is this Bedard?
No, because I didn't pull that clip. I didn't care.
I pulled it, but I wasn't that bothered.
This is... Who is this? Barkov.
All right. My favorite in general.
Bounce, 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 and flip it over to the other side of the ice. He juggles this the whole way through the zone.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's some hand-eye coordination right there.
Really, he needed Rempe to punch him, though, afterwards.
Yeah, or during the middle of him doing that.
Rempe comes over and snaps his stick into and then punches him.
He's sitting there playing hacky sack, and Rempe's like, no.
I didn't see that clip. That's a good one.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was, I think it was happening maybe Saturday night. This was the same game that Rempe got in the big fight, I think. That or it was Sunday night, something like that. So it was right around when our show was happening, so I grabbed it immediately.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that myself these days.
It's hard to get stuff from the early week if you're not grabbing it then.
Yeah,
we end up showing a lot of stuff from Saturdays and Fridays.
We do, because that's when I start paying attention.
Right.
I mean, I try to keep up with it during the week, but there's so much other stuff going on that things do slip by. But speaking of the Connor Bedards, there was that clip of them doing that fancy stuff, but somebody said all it needs is somebody to come up and hit him. And, nobody challenged him. But this
nobody wanted to hit him.
So everyone's favourite teammate, they don't want it on their team, Dumba. Well, they don't want to play against you. I hate Dumba, but anyway. Well, hate's a strong word.
You hate him.
After what he did to Pavelski. But anyway, here he is welcoming Bedard to his space.
By Barrett Hayden, and There's Connor Bedard, the 18-year-old phenom, and he takes a
Yeah,
by Matt Dumba. He's not going to let him
18-year-old phenom. What phenom at hitting the boards?
There's Connor Bedard, the 18-year-old
Phenom got crushed.
He's so busy admiring his own pass. Like, ba-doom. I mean, I've got no time for Dumba particularly, but that's hilarious.
Yeah, you got to finish that check on him, and then you've got to be ready for whoever is going to come after you.
The thing is, he doesn't.
But on Chicago, there's nobody that's going to do it.
There's no one there. But the thing is, he doesn't even. He just pushes him a little bit. It's not like he even hits him hard.
Right.
It goes over like bang, you know.
Yeah, tries to dive headfirst into the boards.
Oh, I mean, he did hit it the boards badly, but
He pushes through it, but yeah, he turned into the boards. He was side, he was had his shoulder to the boards, and he decided to put his head towards the boards. So, yeah, I'm so tired of the Bedard talk.
I know. Immediately underneath, you get the two contrasting opinions that you always see in any of these things. World Hockey Report: don't admire your pass, kids.
Mm-hmm.
Jules S. Xavier, that's a blindside hit, which is supposed to be penalized. Both of them are right.
Is it a blindside hit? He's standing right next to him the whole time. It's not like he came from across the ice and just leveled him.
Is he still wearing that full cage? Maybe.
Yeah, he's got a fishbowl on. That's what Smokey just said. He's wearing the fishbowl. He's fine.
Yeah, that's true. He's actually got some real fish in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's having a tough time of it, yes.
Here's another beautiful play from earlier in the week. This is Nazem Kadri going coast to coast.
Of all people.
Yep.
Is there anybody left in Calgary?
I don't think so.
Oh, they did sign Joel Hanley. We put him on waivers.
So this was just a beautiful play
actually.
All the way down.
I didn't know he had it in him.
He was doing this for us. He just hasn't done it much for Calgary.
Yeah.
At a much higher paycheck.
Yeah. Well, that's $1 million worth right there.
Yeah. That one goal.
See, he just said, I just earned $1 million of my pay, right?
Right.
I'm not quite sure who anybody's playing for in Calgary these days, but...
They've made him such a ridiculous deal that I don't think they'll be able to get rid of Kadri no matter what they try. So he's probably who they have to rebuild around.
Yep.
And to think just 2 years ago, they were pretty close to tops in the Western Conference.
Oh yeah, they weren't bad. They were not bad, but they've blown it up again. So let's play something nice. If I can just again do my queuing up. So this is a goalie save. This is actually Stutzel getting robbed by Cam Talbot.
Yep, I had this one
you got it too.
ready. I've got another goalie save that we'll do right after.
You may have a better version of it than this because I've tried to keep the shorter clips because we know we get into some.
Yeah.
Been struggling with a puck. Actually gets a piece of it to make
that is a beauty.
And that's the first part
Absolute
of the play by
beauty.
Talbot. Has not been struggling with a puck.
Right in the glove.
Actually gets a piece of it to make the.
I actually wonder though if the defender in front of him didn't.
He tips it.
He tips it. So
but
did that
also,
help or hinder?
If you watch, I think Stutzel, the puck jumps on him a little bit right as he's getting ready to shoot it, so he has to take that extra second. Because if we replay it, I think it's skipping and turns on its edge right as it gets to him.
Oh yeah, because it gets.
So he has to settle it down before he can shoot it, and that's what kind of cost him.
To be fair to him, he was grinning. Stutzel was grinning there. Right? He was admiring that.
I knew I got robbed.
That's right.
Nice play.
Well played. Talbot's doing a fairly good job tonight against us as well.
Yeah.
Although we are winning right now, 2-1, but we're on a power play, and he's just saved a few good ones. So. He saved another one. But anyway.
Here is Dimko making an equally beautiful save. Little bit different reaction from the player shooting. So. That was loud. Sorry.
That's okay.
Moving to his left, and he keeps it a tie game.
Got to see that again.
Yeah.
What a marvelous
I'm gonna mute it though.
A bit of Van Halen there, yeah. Oh,
just barely gloves it too, and
yeah.
point blank
the
range.
crust of his groin, though.
Yeah.
Well played, Demko. Yeah, good one.
And he's not smiling. Turco
No,
is not smiling. Well, that's a 1-1 game too. So, but yeah, every now and then it's nice to see some goalies making nice saves instead of having to say, "Tin the goal."
That's what I was kind of thinking. It's kind of nice to see some good stuff. I wonder if we should have another advert. Should we have a commercial? I get some commercials here. I'm sure I haven't played some of these.
Okay.
Oh, that's not a good one. Oh, we might have played that one. I don't know if I've ever played this. Let's try this one. See what we think. It's because it's commercial time. This is quite a long one.
I wore the wrong socks.
Team 1, take 4.
I wore the wrong socks. I did get to ride a bear once. Have you wait? Which one was? Oh yeah. I was like, have you tried the hot dogs here?
I just can't.
It's like, do you get to go home for the rest of the day after this?
He's not going to be much use to us, I don't think.
Needless to say, I didn't get my deposit.
He's about to go.
I have no idea who these people are, but it's funny.
Michigan hockey.
Michigan hockey, that's what it is.
And a local car dealership.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was done all right.
Proud sponsor of Golden Goat for Hockey.
The other guy's so good, he just falls over.
Are you okay? Because that's...
Oh, that's funny.
What's up, TZ Burden?
Hey, TZ. That was actually quite amusing. I'd forgotten what it was.
Yeah, it wasn't Michigan. It was the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
I downloaded it weeks ago and I forgot what it was. That guy you're going to have to go home soon, aren't you? But I love that the guy skates in perfectly into position.
Right, the one mascot can do whatever on ice and the other one can't do crap.
He's over. That's funny. Good stuff. Thank you for your indulgence, everybody, with that one. That was good. So,
before we get to the final section of our videos, do you have our fantasy standings pulled up? Because we haven't checked that yet tonight.
And there are still 3 games are still going.
Yeah.
So they may change. And the 3 games, just to recap, Canucks are 4-0 up against the Jets halfway through the third. Knights are 3-2 up against the Wings halfway through the third. That's a tight one.
Yeah.
Stars are actually, against all expectations, certainly mine, are 2-1 up against the Kings at the end of the second. So you
got the late game for once instead of the Avs.
Yeah, so let's pull up the fantasy, which has been quite interesting because, again, it's all over. Oh, sorry, let me just transit that properly. There you go. So most of the action, as we were saying, is happening over a very narrow band of people.
Available points.
And a very narrow band of available points because things are so spread out now. So save percentage, for instance, you, me, and Bell keep swapping points on that one.
And Bell took a hit today.
She did. And I believe that illegal in many states still. So there you go. You just saw it. Smokey and Tay, 2 point on goals against. Just it's so narrow the band that points just go back and forward on some of those. The other one is wins, goalie wins. I got 2 today, so I'm up to 67.
Yeah, I did have another 3 or 4 lead, and you guys are chewing into that.
So there's me, Mikey, and Bell are all in the 60s there. So it just keeps swapping back and forward.
And Tay's team got yet another shutout this week, I think.
Oh, wow, he's up to 9,
Yeah.
Shit. The other one that I noticed a lot of swapping on, and I've been focusing on, giving away my secrets, is goals. Because I was bottom on goals by a fair distance. I've now managed to tweak my team so that I'm in the mix with you, Bell, and Smokey. I'll never catch Mikey or Tay, but the 4 of us are swapping points there.
Yeah.
So you're still top, but it varies between you being as much as like 3 or 4 points ahead, and then today you're back down to just half a point ahead, or a point ahead, sorry. But it is beginning to solidify into Mikey, you, and me fighting for the top. I think, given the bands
what it's looking like. Yeah. And then Smokey's still got a whole bunch of games in hand on us.
He has. That's the thing. Smokey has only played 6 to 8 games. Way less than the rest of us. So Smokey's probably going to come from behind, as the actress said to the bishop.
Possible. He's got the games in hand to make some movement still.
Yeah, so I've been tweaking my goalies, tweaking my goal scorers just to try and make, because on some of the other categories, I'm either far ahead in or so far behind, useless. So I can only really affect those 2. But you're still top, sir.
Yeah. I was at 45.5 points at one point this week, which shocked me because that meant I had to have picked up all the points that day. Kind of gotten in all those little categories that we're all just fighting it out in those 3 or 4 categories. I had to have moved everything in that one day. But I mean, having a backup goalie get a couple of shutouts is helpful.
Well, it is, and that's why I've tweaked my goalies to try. Like, I picked up the Florida backup goalie today, got a win.
Yeah,
and that's the first game I've played him.
And of course, I've got 4 goalies, and out of the 2 goalies that had games today, Bobrovsky gets sat and Saros gets sat.
Yeah.
So it's like, and against teams that I would love to have seen them play.
Well, I know. That's why I was happy I picked up the Florida backup goalie. I went, that guy's playing Calgary today.
Yeah.
And he's playing, so I'm going to get that guy. So.
And Tavares finally got a goal. I've been just benching him, even though, I mean, he's got good numbers, but he's not been getting those numbers lately. So.
Yeah, it's funny when you're we're trying to cut down on our games.
Yeah.
And there's a guy you just keep benching again and again.
Yep. It's like Tavares and Nugent Hopkins, you guys can sit on the bench for a while.
Why am I playing them at all? Yes.
Yeah. I could get more goalies.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Let's get another goalie.
That's what I did this week. I saw Onanen after that first shutout of Chicago. I was like, no, I'm going to pick him up and start him for the second Chicago game. And boom.
As Mike says, Tavares has dropped down the line. So let's look at Bell's goalies. She's got Hellebuck, who I don't think played today. Or did he?
No, he's got all 4 goals against him right now.
Markstrom.
They're still playing.
Markstrom's not a good choice. I mean, he would be if he was in a different team, because that trade didn't happen.
Yeah, that I thought that trade was going to happen.
Yeah. So Gustafsson, well, he plays for the team that shall not be named.
I was surprised that somebody went out and got Capo Kakinen. I mean, he's won 6 games this year out of like 30 starts. I know it's with San Jose, but I mean, 6 games in 30 starts.
Well, San Jose are really saying, look, could you throw a bag of pucks in as well just to make the deal work?
Yeah.
So who else has Bell got these days? Barkov, Zibanejad, Hughes, Clayton Keller. Yeah,
Barkov, who we just showed some fancy puck work.
Exactly. Charlie McAvoy, who's in my other fantasy league team, where he was. I think I'm actually getting around to thinking about dropping him because those zeros are becoming a habit for him.
Yeah. Let's keep in mind that Bill had no players on her team after the draft.
She actually had 15 centers.
Yeah. So centers were the only thing. Did she not have? Was McKinnon just on the bench, or did she not have him anymore? I can't imagine she dropped McKinnon.
She wouldn't drop McKinnon.
I didn't see the name there.
He's not there.
No, there he is.
Oh yeah, he is.
Okay.
No one's. I'll trade Bell. You could trade McKinnon to me if you want. I'll give you a bag of pucks.
Give you 3 goalies.
Give you 3 of my spare goalies. Yeah.
Yeah, that is something else to talk about. Smokey brought up. McKinnon is now at a 32-game point streak at home.
Jesus. Yeah.
He's 9 home games away from having a point in every single home game.
Bloody hell. Yeah.
And he is now taking the lead in the scoring race, too, by, I believe, 4 points over Kucherov, unless Kucherov grabs some today. But McKinnon's positioning himself for the MVP, hands down. I mean, Kucherov, people keep putting him in the talk, but McKinnon's the more balanced player. He's getting goals and assists at a ridiculous pace.
He is. Oh, he's incredible. I'm just trying to find the actual. I've got the
I can't find him to put him on the screen, but I've got the leaders.
Stats. Here we go. Here's the stats.
Yeah, McKinnon's now up 5, 111 to 106
so he's
on Kucherov.
Now, yeah, he's Kucherov 107.
No, Kucherov did get 1 today, so he got 107. So he's up 4
111
now.
points. What about goals? What has he got in goals?
Goals. McKinnon is sitting at 40.
Tied fourth, 40. Yeah.
Yep. So he's got the goals plus he's got 71 assists.
Incredible.
Kucherov has 68 of his points are assists. Yeah, so they're if McKinnon ends up with more points, it'll be impossible to say anybody but him should have the MVP. What's up, Chris?
But it's the NHL. You never know.
Yeah, it'll go to Connor McDavid for doing crap.
It'll go to Connor Bedard for having several teeth missing.
For having survived a rough first year with a broken jaw.
Those nasty big players. I bet
McKinnon got his 70th assist this week, and that's the first player to do that for the Avs since Peter Forsberg in like the 2002-2003 season.
71 he has now, yeah.
Yeah. What's amazing is, as much as, everybody knows that the 95 to 2001 Avs were just loaded. It was like an all-star team. Peter Forsberg, Milan Hajduk, Joe Sakic, Patrick Waugh, Adam Foote, all those guys. But the players now are just dismantling every single one of the records that they ever put together.
It's incredible, isn't it?
It's a special team to be watching.
It is their time, for sure. Absolutely.
It's just amazing how much better they are doing than the old guys who we thought nobody's ever going to be better than Sakic and Forsberg. Well, McKinnon and Rantanen does it pretty well. McKinnon and Makar, that's a beautiful thing. And you're looking at 2 of the best players in the world on the same team, most of the time on the ice together. Of course, the 90s was also the dead puck era, so it's hard to compare stats between the eras in hockey.
I mean, I think a lot of people say, oh yeah, hockey was better in this year or that year or whatever. I think we do have some outstanding players today. There's no doubt about it, with some incredible skill. And exciting games, a lot of exciting games.
It is true, though, that the offensive players are now able to put their skills on display, because back in the 90s and 2000s, it was clutch and grab everything. Yeah. You could there was no such thing as interference. I mean, you entered the zone with the puck and you were just going to get grabbed or absolutely crushed. I mean, so it's a more wide open game today. But the goalies' equipment has gotten bigger, and the goalies have gotten bigger. So there are trade-offs in each era of the different challenges that you faced.
Yeah, I guess so. I actually do think that we are not living in a bad era for the game.
It's a fun era.
Yeah,
we're scoring. Scoring's fun.
I think this is a good era. We've all got complaints about certain things, but and to be fair, I've only been following the game since 2005, seriously since about 2004, 2005.
Yeah.
I think this is one of the best eras for skill and speed and excitement. There's a lot of it around.
The only thing that is less exciting is the lack of fighting the way that there used to be, or line brawls that there used to be. That's what they've cut out of the game. Yeah. But they have added offense. The other thing that the one thing that I don't like in this era is the replay. The replay is killing us.
Yeah.
If you're having to slow down to one frame to see if there's a guy is offside,
and it's offside by a centimeter,
1/100th of a second. Yeah, I mean that's not interfering with what happened in that play. That's just being nitpicky and stupid. I mean, it's the letter of the law, right? So you got to do it. But I would rather them just get rid of offsides reviews altogether.
I mean, the call on the ice should typically stand.
Unless there's overwhelming evidence, and you should not be able to slow it down to frame by frame.
And they should have a limited time to challenge it.
Yeah.
Like 20 seconds. But here's talking of millimeters. This is from the Rangers. Rangers game the other day. Rangers Sabres.
Yeah, I don't know how that didn't go all the way across.
That is incredible.
I mean, it hit the other post and came right back.
Hit the post and curves out.
I think when it hit
as somebody said, though, Kempe, should have followed up.
Yeah, you should have been poking that in right then.
Yeah, he should have made sure he kept going instead of admiring it. Rempe,
well, if not him, then the guy following behind. No, it was him that should have poked it. Yeah.
I guess he couldn't see it because he's so tall that the crossbar obscured the view. But yeah, he should have followed. He should have been in there trying to follow up. But that was like, I don't know, a millimeter.
Yeah.
Now
that was crazy.
The Stars game. There was a Stars game 2 or 3 games ago where that was reviewed and it was called a goal. And it was exactly the same. They said, "Oh no, that was over." It looked just like that, and it was. And I'm not complaining because it was just it was a tough call either way, but there was kind of like snow on the line on the red, and that was obscuring where the red was.
Right.
So they went, "Well, we're going to make it a goal. We'll call it a goal," and it was just like that. So there's sometimes
Marc-Andre Fleury used to create snow in his crease so that he could scoot it onto the line so that it might slow down a puck just enough if it absolutely came to it. And the refs caught him doing it quite a few times.
Yeah, he's probably still doing it.
Yeah, I mean he's very sneaky with it.
So that was an interesting one, but because you were talking about just millimeters being reviewed, I think the whole offside review thing is just bullshit most of the time.
I think at this point, the only thing that should be reviewed is in overtime if it's a good goal and not reviewing for anything else other than did it cross the line. I think I do like that they review the 5-minute majors and can change it back down to a minor if it wasn't as bad as what they thought. So I'm fine with that. But the offsides and the goalie interference, I've about had it with how it's screwing up the game.
Yeah,
and
I think so.
It's very invasive in the game too. It takes forever for them to review these things.
I mean, but if you have to, as you say, if you have to go frame by frame for something that happened 20 seconds ago, then is of no material difference to the game.
Yeah.
None whatsoever. And I was going to now say I was getting to the. Oh no! Shit! I must have done. So I was wanting to show the Parker Kelly.
Doughty's pass.
Oh, I hear it.
Yeah.
Doughty between the bench.
Yeah. Unfortunately, what's happened is that the site. It's tough to get that video.
Yeah.
Of the Parker Kelly. So it's just you can't do that.
Yeah.
And it was Parker Kelly of the Senators checking Andreas England, the legal check to the head, and I could only find it on a French Montreal Journal website.
Weird.
Yeah, I couldn't find it anywhere else. I looked for it. It must be out there.
And now the video's gone?
No, the video's there. I just can't. It's got an ad blocker.
Oh.
Remove your ad blocker thing.
Oh.
Shit. And it won't let me get past it.
Well, we'll show Legal Hit while you're messing around with stuff on
let
that.
Me figure out if I can do it, yeah.
This, I believe, was from earlier tonight. Evander Kane getting in there.
Big hit. And going down in a heat, Jansen Harkins. The Kane hit.
Don't skate with your head down.
That's right, he's bent over head down. Fair hit, shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, and the guy braces for it. He knows it's coming. He lost the puck in his skates, and he's got to look down to do something about it, but he knows Kane's right there. So he braces. Fair hit. The only thing that probably hurt was the other guy's knee going into the side of his head while he was on the ground.
Yeah, I do hope that he's going to have a shower after that because Kane touched him. Right, I figured this out. It's still not going to look great, but we can still watch it. There's so many adverts on this Le Journal de Montréal website. This is a
you can't do that?
Yeah, this is a
all right, let's put up the banner.
You can't do that.
You can't do that.
So we're going to get the advert now. Because I had to disable the ad blocker. I honestly couldn't find this anywhere other than this French bloody... Because it's Ottawa, nobody cares.
Yeah. That's weird, though.
Let it work through the adverts first.
We get 2 ads.
Yeah. Match électrosol. A tout cassé. Montreal.
Electric Mazdas. Here it is.
Hang on. Right, so let's see if I can get this full screen. There we go.
For the Ottawa line. Doughty between the benches. Couldn't get it in deep, but it's picked up by his teammates. Fiala hands it off inside the Kings line. Doughty for Dubois. And up the wall, the Ferrier to Dubois moves in a centering pass.
We'll get most of the game first.
Oh, the Kings had Lewis breaking in off the right wing.
Yeah, they didn't. He just pulled him down, horse collar style.
Nick, you gotta take them both. England's been involved all night too.
I think on the initial hit, Jim and Nick, I think the stick came up and caught England. That's what got him so mad.
It didn't look that bad.
No, it didn't.
Horse collared.
The horse collar did.
Kelly down to the ice. But the referee pointed at
England's not happy though. Here we go. This is a better view. Bang. There you go.
Yeah, that looks worse.
That looks worse from
The
that
shoulder
angle.
pad across the face.
I don't think you can do that.
You can't do that.
You can't do that.
But I think he also immediately apologized.
He did. But people were saying, well, so what? You apologized.
Well, you don't know what the guy's going to do. He turns. I mean, it's not like his back is facing. I mean, so I don't know. You've got to put a hit on him there. You can't just let him play the puck. But he caught him straight across the head.
He didn't crush his head.
Yep.
And he did get a 2-game suspension, I think, for that.
Yeah, the other angle definitely looked worse.
Kelly, of course, has got some previous. This is him
the embellishment
embellishing. He got a penalty for embellishment.
We get a penalty, but the embellishment is the one that's surprising for me. Is Kelly gets taken down with a
Not the same game.
I mean,
penalty, but the embellishment is.
I don't know that that's embellishment.
You just go like, oh.
Grabbing your head, maybe, but the fact that you got knocked down, I mean, when you grab your head just to make sure people see it, I don't see that is any different than, everybody raising their hands going, come on. I mean,
yeah.
Everybody saw it happen. You're just making sure that it was seen. What I hate is when they call the penalty and the embellishment. It's like, what are you talking about? Yeah. There was a penalty.
It's either a penalty or it's embellishment.
Yeah, I mean they'll say that it's embellishment, but it was an actual penalty. So how do you decide that you're embellishing the penalty?
Yeah.
I mean you can definitely be trying to draw a call, but it's not like they're doing what freaking soccer players do, rolling all over the place.
Oh, they're literally like they've been shot by a sniper. And what's hilarious is when there's nobody near them for like 10 feet and they do it.
Or there's no call and then they suddenly just pop right up and they're like, okay, if I'm not getting the call, then I'm going to get up and run.
No one's looking at me anymore. Shit.
Yeah.
Just like a Vegas player on LTIR.
Yeah. And keep in mind, I played high school, or I played soccer all the way up through varsity in high school. So I like soccer, but I hate watching soccer. Yeah. I hate the pro level.
Oh, I know. I don't watch it anymore. I'm tired of it. I moved to hockey long ago. So this is the other. You can't do that. This is Martin Pospisil. I always mispronounce that. Popsicle.
Popsicle.
Yeah, lemon popsicle of the Flames, hitting Vince Dunn of the Kraken, and apparently it's illegal.
Oh. I don't know if that just kind of paused and buffered and then sped up, but...
Oh, that hurts.
Yep.
So he got a 3-game suspension for that.
Yeah, that's probably right.
I think so. I think that is
numbers we're facing.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah.
His head goes right in there. Could have snapped his neck.
We've seen that.
Oh, yeah. Here you go. One more time. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Nightmare. So that was our other you can't do that for the week.
Yep.
And that did get a suspension, so.
And this one is not a you can't do that, but I've got one fight for the week.
Oh, you do?
I did find a fight.
Does it involve the Leafs and the Bruins?
No. This is the Blue Jackets and the Oilers. Right off the opening whistle, brand new player for the Oilers coming in the trade deadline, Carrick.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
Forced to fight immediately.
Looks like they're going to dance.
Known for that. Here we go.
So,
holy shit.
Opening whistle, we're just going at it.
And he's going with a tough one here at Olivier.
Well, this is the actual opening whistle of the entire game?
Believe so.
Interesting. There's obviously some previous there.
I would think so.
Oh, that was a nice punch.
That was a good one.
Dallas are busy squandering. Squandering another power play. Oh, that was a good tilt.
Yeah, it was a pretty good one.
Nice, yeah.
And immediately. No, I guess it wasn't the first one. It must have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Stars have just scored. The 3-1 up. Woohoo!
Nice. There's your insurance goal.
Yeah, power play goal, Wyatt Johnson. No, they just 6-1 up might be insurance. Not 3-1. But yeah, that was a very enjoyable fight. I mean,
yeah, it was a good one. Two 6-footers going 200-pound going into a tilt.
Yeah, they were not faking it there. That was a good one. Well played.
That was proof to your new team that you got picked up for a reason.
Well played. Yeah, he wants if he was a rental, he obviously wants to get a contract. So.
Yeah. Well, and Edmonton needs to get tougher.
No, they don't. No, they don't. They need to just be miserable. Yeah, so that was... I think the Stars have just scored a fourth goal.
Oh, yeah?
No, wait a minute.
You sure it's not the replay of what just happened? That'd be pretty quick.
No, sorry. It looked like they'd scored, and then everything's just gone into a stramash. Okay, sorry about that. I was looking over here. I don't know.
Hey, I spent half of comic streams with the TV on watching the Avs.
It still says 3-1, so it couldn't have been a goal. They were all getting somebody was getting very excited about something. Anyway, yeah, that was good stuff, but let's last check in on the current scores. It is the last game still going.
That is. Winnipeg did lose 5-0 to the Canucks.
What a shame. I'm so upset about that.
Yeah.
And what was the other game that was still going?
We're 3 quarters through the season, and I'm still waiting for the Canucks to go back to what they should be doing, not what they are doing. It's like, apparently, this is who they are. I mean, we're far enough into the season that you can't say that they're overperforming still.
They're not giving. Yeah, nothing's reverted. So I obviously it is the way they are. I'm just looking for the other one. Oh yeah, the Knights beat the Wings 5-3 in the end.
Okay.
So I guess that they're coping okay without desperately injured Mark Stone.
Yeah.
Who's I believe is on life support as we speak.
Well,
on a beach somewhere.
And the Red Wings are another team that just didn't do anything. They're ahead of their schedule, so the fact that they're in a playoff spot, I think they're just thinking, okay, this is good. Let's see what this core can do. But they didn't do much at the trade deadline.
They didn't.
And I didn't see Seattle mentioned at all.
No, they did zip, unless it was, I mean, there's obviously the odd dumping of a fourth liner on the waivers or whatever, but
I don't even think I saw that.
No.
So,
no, I did not see that. So
it was a very active trade deadline this year, but also a very strange one. 33 players moved, I think, was the total number of players sent somewhere else.
And a lot of retained salaries, I noticed.
Yeah.
Lots of retains. And a couple of real deadbeats getting dumped.
Johansson.
You guys are like, how can we get this? We got to get rid of this guy. He's got to end up in the minors somehow. So,
and I don't think anybody will pick him up because he still has a $4 million salary.
Yeah, who's going to do it? Yeah, just crazy. So just looking at some standings. Panthers, Bruins, Leafs, Rangers, Hurricanes, Flyers. Flyers are up there now in third. Yeah.
Yep. And they had a weird trade deadline. They dealt some stuff, even though they're in a playoff spot currently.
I just didn't. I didn't understand.
I was confused by that, unless it was just people that said, "I do not want to be here." Torts effect.
Yeah, that's right. Or just living in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Sorry, Courtney, if you're listening. Yeah, with the Lightnings and the Wings and the Islanders fighting, the Caps are still within range in the East for the wild card slots.
Islanders too, amazingly.
Yeah. If you look at with Patrick Rice, he pulled any goalies with 15 minutes left?
Not this week that I saw.
So bizarrely enough, the Stars, I don't know how the Stars have won 4 games in a row because they're awful, but they just keep winning when they're awful. Stars, Jets, Avs, Canucks, Oilers, Kings, and then the Preds did have their snap broken, but they're back to winning again.
Yep.
They look pretty much a lock, I would say, for a wild card, if not, I think only a wild card. I don't think they'll catch.
I don't think anything changes in the wild card race here. Yeah. I think it's all just going to be fighting up top. But 91 for the Canucks already.
I'd love it. I know. I'd love it if the Knights, despite all their shenanigans, lost a few games and suddenly found they were out with a wild card.
That would be funny.
It would be funny. I don't think it's going to happen though.
No, that's a lot of points to make up with very few games left. I mean,
8 points.
Yeah. And somebody below them has to win 80% of their games, and Vegas has to lose about 40% of their games for that math to work.
But yeah, you gotta. I mean, the Canucks definitely the surprise of the year, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but then what will happen is they'll get into the playoffs and then lose a series they're expected to win, and then there'll be a riot with burning buses and the city will be destroyed.
Yeah.
Because they love to riot when they lose. It's like Montreal.
They just love to riot.
They just love to riot. It's such a peaceable city, and yet they love to riot. So anyway, my friend, Kings are on a power play. Oh God, Stars. Oh no, don't give them a 5-3. Oh shit. No. Okay. That's terrible. I just know a 3-1 lead is not good. It's the worst lead in hockey for us.
It's not good, but it's better than the 2-1 and having a goalie pulled at the end and having that crap happen. Yeah. I like having the insurance goal.
True. Anyway, that was fun.
Yeah.
What you got coming up this week, mate?
Well, the parents are in town, so I'm probably not doing anything tomorrow night as far as Culture or Tom. I may not even do Monday Night Meltdown this week. So Tuesday night, they're flying back out, so I'll have the Party Animal stream on my channel. Wednesday, we do have a Christian panel.
Nice.
We're reviewing a movie that I have not been able to find a copy of. I know it's in theaters, but I don't have the time to get to a theater at the moment. So we'll figure out what's going on there. And I think we've got a special guest that I don't think has been announced. So I'll let Carrie take care of that. But
it's a secret guest.
Yes. But it's somebody everybody in the fellowship knows.
Is it Mad Martigan?
No.
Then it's not special, is it?
Although Mad has expressed interest in being on that that stream sometime.
Great. I think he would be good on it, yeah.
Yeah. He knows his theology pretty well.
He does, yes. Good stuff, mate. No, that's maybe one of these days I'll be on it.
Yeah.
You know,
if we find a topic that you want to do, I mean,
lately
we've been doing different movies and stuff, and sometimes books.
I was brought up in the Protestant tradition.
Yes.
The good old Scottish Presbyterian traditions. You know, which is usually about being a doer and glum and grey. Don't you dare.
Hell and brimstone.
That's right. There's a great sketch from I've gone on a tangent here. There's a guy sadly departed. Guy, what was his name? A Scottish comedian. It'll come back to me. And he had a sketch show, and one of these was this. You know, in the west coast of Scotland, they've got these hardcore Protestants. They call them the Wee Frees. They're the Free Presbyterian churches, and they're not affiliated to any major thing, and they're all very severe, you know.
Yeah.
Like, there's no having any fun. So the guy's up there giving the sermon, and it's all like, and you're all going to hell for doing this and that and the other. And it's like 3 minutes of this, and at the end, he goes, and now some announcements. The Jumble Sale will be on Saturday at 3 p.m.
Come for bingo on Wednesday night.
That's right, yeah. Bingo will be after his meetings. It's very Scottish. It's hilarious stuff. I'll have to dig that sketch out. It might be on YouTube because it's well.
I've been to a few Baptist churches that are like that too.
But yeah, so for me,
yes,
I have. I'm not sure I'm going to be on anything tomorrow because I got a lot of stuff going on family-wise. Oop, sorry, that was my voice coming back to me there. That was my fault. But on Monday on my channel, 3 p.m., it's only Talk and Roll, 3 p.m. Mountain Time, we are doing a Judas Priest special, hell-bent for leather, as it says there.
Nice.
I believe Rob Halford has had a bit of a what's the word? He's a lot more theological than he used to be. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah.
I think he's had a bit of a conversion, although it's still pretty gay. So,
yeah.
But yeah, Hellbent for Leather, Judas Priest special to celebrate the 19th studio album, Invincible Shield. So we should have some fun with that, because Judas Priest is always fun to talk about.
Cool.
And then the rest of the week will unfold as it will, I'm sure. So
probably the usual.
Indeed, just the usual. Yeah. But thanks everyone for being here tonight with us.
Yeah.
TZ, Mike, Southern Belle, Lizard King. Oh, who else was here?
Mike DiCarlo was.
Yeah, Mike.
Smokey, of course. Folsom Lockdown.
Devil Flyer Momentum.
Yep.
A bunch of people, and it's been good to see you all. Thanks for being here with us. And we will see you all next week.
Indeed.
As things hot up towards the end of the regular season.
Yeah, the end of the regular season. Then we've only got 2 months more shows for the playoffs.
That's right, yeah. It'll be July the 15th, and here's the first round of the first game of the Stanley Cup Finals. It is indeed the Calgary Flames against the Columbus Blue Jackets. No, just kidding.
The losers bracket.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah. Good night, everybody. Thanks.
Night.
Take care.